1, 2 to start with. Get an all round kind of core yoga session in. Essentially it's going to be like we're going to work through sun salutations, but instead of doing the standard kind of drop down to the mat, do Bhujangasana Cobra pose, and we'll do some variations. So we'll do locust and we'll do Sphynx into forearm plank. We'll do 1 round of forearm side plank, a couple of boat pose variations, and then finishing off with like a couple of rounds of bridge pose. So the idea is to get in, to take in the whole of the core. So we're getting in the anterior core at the front, the posterior core, kind of the lower back muscles, the oblique muscles, so the side core muscles, and also making sure that we kind of work the hip muscles as well, which connect the lower body into the core muscles, and also making sure that we get in the kind of mid-upper thoracic and back section as well. So with that in mind, we're going to actually start off with a simple seated cross-legged position, and right leg in front of left, and working to get your shins as parallel as possible in this position. So that may mean that your left foot is slightly tucked under your right calf, and that your left calf is slightly on top of your right heel. For the first few rounds, we're going to move through some sequences where we won't be holding the pose for that long. So we're going to move in and out, and it's just going to work in a little bit of mobility. So from a seated position, we're going to say inhale, deep breath into the chest. Exhale, fold forward not into a ridiculously deep seated forward fold. It's about 75% of depth here. And then we're going to inhale, come up. As you come up, switch the legs. So now left shin in front of right. And then exhale, fold forward again. So that sequence twice through. Inhale to come up. Exhale, switch the legs back over, right in front of left. Inhale, send the chest forward. Exhale, hands forward into a fold. And then flowing with the breath, inhale to come up. Exhale to switch the legs over. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, deepen into the fold. 1 more round through both sides. Inhale to come up. Exhale, switch the legs over, back right in front of left. Inhale, move the chest through. Exhale into a fold. Inhale, back up. Exhale, final switch through, left in front of right. Inhale, send the shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, down into a fold. And then inhale, walk the hands back in. This time we'll take the legs into Baddha Konasana, so we're not looking for a particularly deep Baddha Konasana here. We're not going to send the chest forward and take it into a fold. We're going to now work a little bit more into the inner thighs and come into a slight rocking movement. So take the hands onto the knees just for the moment. We'll move through 1 round slowly and then 2 more rounds at tempo breath. So we're going to start by going to the right side. So inhale, we're going to take the right knee down to the mat, left knee comes up, right hand to the side to support. And then inhale, rock back through center. Exhale, left knee comes down, right leg comes up. So that rocking motion twice through. Inhale, rock through to center. exhale, right knee down, inhale back through center, exhale, left knee down, inhale back through center, exhale right, one more time, inhale through center, exhale, left. Come back to center on the inhale. Now we're going to take the legs out into a V. So if you need to, as it's the beginning of class, you can keep a slight flex in the legs. Again, we're not going into a deep wide leg forward fold here. And we're going to bring some side to side movement. So something very similar to a Pilates windmill movement. We're going to inhale, take the arms out to the side. Exhale, take left hand to right shin. Inhale back through center. Exhale, right hand, left shin. Inhale back through center. Exhale, left hand to right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, right hand to left. Inhale back through center. One more round through. Right, left hand to right. Inhale, exhale, right hand to left. Inhale back to center. This time exhale into a fold into the center. And then inhale, walk the hands up. From here we're going to come into our tabletop position. So we're going to come into a move in that has been it's been termed bird dog, and I have no idea why it's called bird dog, because it doesn't look like a bird, also doesn't look like a dog, but it's a little bit of a core balance sequence, coming from tabletop into a spinal balance, and then crunching the opposite elbow to knee underneath the body. We'll start by taking inhale, take the right leg back to a hover. Take the left arm forward. And then simply exhale, take elbow to knee underneath the body. Inhale, extend it out. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, release hand and knee down. So that sequence on the second side. Inhale, take left leg back to a hover. Bring right arm forward. Back foot can be flexed or pointed. And then exhale, bring knee to elbow. Inhale to extend out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend out. Take the hand down. Take the knee down. And from here into downward facing dog. Lift the knees up. Send the hips up. Find your downward facing dog. And from here, a deep pedaling of the backs of the legs. So inhale, bend the right knee. Take chest towards thigh. Exhale to straighten. Inhale, bending the left leg, chest towards thigh. Exhale, straighten. Just move through that a couple of times. You're driving the opposite heel down into the mat as you bend the leg. Try to get as deep a stretch into that calf as you take the heel down. And then inhale, find stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the hands, slowly walk the feet forward to the top of your mat. Exhale, release down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, take the hands to the tops of the thighs. Press the hands into the thighs. Really lengthen through the spine. Particularly make sure you engage the lower back. Exhale, back down to a fold, bending the legs as necessary. And then inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, take palms to heart center. Samasthiti. So 2 rounds of half salutations. Nice tempo breath as we work through. So inhale, take the arms up. Exhaling into a fold. Legs can be bent if needed. Inhale, hands to the tops of shins. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, back down to Uttanasana, into a fold. Inhale, root down to the feet. Arms circle up. Exhale, palms in front of the heart. Samasthiti. 1 more round like that. Inhale. Exhaling into a fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Take hands to the tops of shins. Exhale down into a fold. Inhale, circle the arms up, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, palms in front of the heart. Samasthiti. So now we're going to do 3 rounds of salutations, and we're going to do salutations based on high crescent lunge to get in a little bit of balance, and we'll change up the vinyasa section as we go along to wake up the core. So inhale, take the arms up, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, coming down into a fold. Inhale, come to the fingertips in a halfway lift. Take the hands down to the mat. Step the right foot back. Stay on the toes. Make sure in your low lunge first that your feet are about hip width distance apart. And then inhale. Rising up, high lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step back first to downward facing dog. Exhale, rock forward to plank pose. Inhale, take knees, chest, chin all the way down to the mat. Release the arms alongside the body, palms down. And then inhale, lift chest and chin. Hover legs and feet. We're here for 2 rounds of breathing. Inhale, release everything down to the mat. Take the hands alongside the chest. Exhale, push back through to downward facing dog. Next, inhale, right foot steps forward. Staying on the toes of the back foot, hip width distance apart with the feet. Inhale, up into high lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step forward to a halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, release down to a fold. Inhale, circle the arms up, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, palms to heart center. Samasthiti. into our second round. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, hands to shins to begin with into a halfway lift. Take the hands down to the mat, step the left foot back. Find your balance first before inhale up. High lunge. Exhale, hands come down. This time, inhale, step straight back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the mat. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana this time. Hands alongside the chest, elbows tuck in, chest forward as you inhale, curl up. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left foot will step forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step forward, taking the hands to the tops of shins into a halfway lift. Exhale, take all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Samasthiti. So working now into Sphynx pose, forearm plank pose. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhaling into a fold. Inhale, hands to shins to start with. Then take the hands down to the mat. Right foot back, staying on the toes. Inhale, taking the arms up. High lunge. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, straight back to plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the mat. And then come up onto the forearms. We'll find Sphynx pose to start with. So we'll start with getting a good Sphynx pose. So palms are pressing down into the mat. Shoulders are stacked over the elbows. Bottom of forearms are pressing down firmly as well. You want to feel an opposite movement as if you're pulling back with the hands and moving forward with the chest. Moving back with the shoulders, making room for the heart to shine through. Then from here, tuck the toes under if they're not already tucked under. Engage through the thighs, through the backs of the legs. And then on an inhale, lift the chest, hips, legs up off the mat. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck the hips under. And then exhale, lower all the way back down. Sphynx pose. Well done, everybody. Inhale, come back down to the mat, take the hands alongside the chest. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Next inhale, right foot will step forward. Staying on the toes of the back foot. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step forward to a halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, back down to a fold. Inhale, rooting to rise, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, palms to heart center. Samasthiti. So one more round identical to that, then I'll even out the salutations. Inhale, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, diving forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to the tops of shins, find a halfway lift. Take the hands down to the mat, left foot steps back. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, all the way down to the mat. Come onto the forearms into Sphynx pose. Good Sphynx pose alignment to start off with. So palms pressing down, shoulders stacked over the elbows. Drawing back with the hands and shoulders, chest moving forwards. And then tuck the toes under. Activate the quads and the inner thighs. Feel as if you're hugging a yoga block between those thighs. And then inhale, lift chest, legs and hips. Tuck the tailbone under. Keep the hips low, chest up. Exhale all the way down, Sphynx pose. Inhale, release down to the mat. This time, exhale back through to child's pose. Hips towards heels. And then inhale back up to tabletop position. Exhale back through downward facing dog. So we're going to move to a downward facing dog plank sequence. So again, this will activate the core, but it'll also activate the hip muscles. You're going to inhale, come into a three-legged downward facing dog with the right leg coming behind. Exhale, shift forward into plank pose. With the right leg still raised. And then inhale, bring right knee towards right elbow, tap. Inhale, back through three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the knee into center, and then open out the knee to the right, foot towards left, hovering pigeon pose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, this time crescent moon. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, lift the back knee. Step back, downward facing dog. So we've got that on the second side. Inhale, left leg comes to a hover. Three-legged dog. Inhale, shift forward to one-legged plank pose. Inhale, left knee towards left elbow. Tap it if you can. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Inhale forward to hovering pigeon pose. So the right knee, the left knee out towards the left, foot out towards the right. Inhale back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, take the arms up. Crescent moon. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step back to plank this time. Exhale, knees, chest, chin down to the mat. Inhale through cobra elbows tuck in. Exhale back through child's pose. And then inhale back up to tabletop. Exhale back up to downward facing dog. So we're going to get into that hip flexors a little bit more now. Some lunge based work. Inhale, step the right foot forward, take the back knee down. Wiggle that right foot out to the side. You want heel on the mat, toes pointing out towards a 2 o'clock position. Take the hands to the inside of the foot. So you should know if that front leg is forward enough. If you start to lunge down with the hips, then you know that this foot is forward enough if the shin is parallel, is vertical. So that if you're lunging down and the shin is kind of lurching forward, just shuffle the foot forward to get it vertical. If you're finding that the shin is kind of lurching back, wiggle the foot back. So you want a nice vertical shin. All the effort here is coming down to the hips. And then for the final 2 breaths, keep the hands where they are, lift the back knee. So this gets into a slightly different region of the hips. Getting more into the inner hip. Keep feeling as if you're a proud lizard, sending that chest through. Resist the temptation to dump the chest down towards the mat. And then from here, step back, downward facing dog. Second side next, inhale, left foot steps forward to the outside, the left hand. And again, as you did with the first side, as the hands come to the inside, check where what that left shin is doing. As you sink the hips down, that shin should stay vertical towards the ceiling. If it's lurching forward, then just wiggle the foot forward. If it's lurching back, wiggle the foot back. And for the final 2 breaths, tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee. Getting more into the inner hips. And then slowly step back, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, step the right foot forward. This time lower the back knee and then wiggle the right foot out so the toes are pointing up and the leg is straight, coming into half splits, half Hanumanasana. And again, really try to resist dumping the chest down towards the leg. Think a nice proud position, chest moving forwards. Slowly take the sole of the front foot down, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left foot comes forward, lowering the back knee, wiggling the left foot forward so the leg is straight. Half splits, half Hanumasana on the second side. Inhale, come back with the flat foot on the left side, lift the back knee, step back, plank pose this side, this time, and then lower all the way back down to the mat. Come back into Sphynx pose. So we're going to finish off on our front before we come down onto our backs. So just one very short round of forearm side plank pose. So we'll start with the left side. So you can either, for forearm side plank, you can either just keep the forearm pointing forward. I quite like having the forearm angled into the middle for extra stability. You can use the right hand just for support to start with. If you come over onto the left side, leg stacked on top of each other, and then inhale, lift the hips. Right hand can stay down on the mat for support, or right hand can come to the top hip, or right arm can extend up. We're here for one round of breathing. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, lower the hips down. Slowly move back through Sphynx pose as we set up for the second side. So either forearm stays pointing forward, or you can come to my variation for stability, so forearm angles in slightly. Roll on to the right side of the body. Hips in line with the right elbow, leg stacked. Left hand in front of the body to start with for support. Inhale, lift the hips. Keep the left hand down if you want, or take left hand to the top hip, or reach left arm up. Exhale, dropping the hips down slowly, coming back through to Sphynx pose. Exhale all the way down, and then this time simply inhale back into tabletop, and then come through to a seated position facing the front of your mat. So we started off the class with some brief seated forward folds. We're going to take that seated forward fold a little bit deeper, but we're going to incorporate it into a bit of core work. So we're going to do, traditionally you would do Navasana boat pose into Lalosana, which is an arm balance, but that's a bit too intense and quite an advanced level of arm balancing and hip opening. So we're going to switch that up. We're going to do boat pose Navasana into seated forward fold. So take the heels down on the mat in front, legs bent. Come back onto the sit bones. As you take the thighs up towards the chest, really engage through the core muscles. From the shins to parallel, and then take the arms out in front. And then exhale as you come down, right leg in front of left. Walk the hands forward, seated forward fold. Inhale, walk the hands back in, rock back onto the sit bones, take the thighs back up towards the chest, shins parallel, Navasana round 2. This time, exhale back into a seated forward fold, opposite shin, left shin in front of right. Walk the hands forward, seated forward fold. Inhale, walk back onto the upright. This time, release the legs out, roll down onto your mat. One rounded bridge pose, so walk the feet in, heels roughly underneath the knees, feet back hip width distance apart, toes pointing forward. Dig in with the big toes. Feel as if you're hugging a yoga block between your thighs. Press down through the hands, inhale, lift the hips, slowly roll the spine off the mat, coming onto your shoulders. Arms can stay where they are, or hands can interlace underneath the back for more of a depth of stretch on the shoulders. Exhale, release all the way down. Finishing with a hip stretch, so take the left foot on top of the right thigh. Coming in first to supine figure of 4. So taking the thighs in towards the chest, loop the hands around that right hamstring. And then lower the arms resting alongside the body and take that whole lower body over to the right side into a twist. You can take the right hand to the left foot, ankle. Left arm extends out. Gaze central or look towards the left hand. Inhale, come back through center. Release the foot from the thigh. Switch out the legs. Right foot onto left thigh. Start with taking the thighs in towards the chest. Loop the hands around that left hamstring. And then release the arms alongside the body, lower the legs over to the left side. Left hand can come towards the right ankle or foot. Right arm extends out. Gaze to that right hand or gaze central. And then inhale, bring everything into center, hug knees and thighs in towards chest. Take hands to shins, ankles or edges of feet, thighs descending down towards the mat, happy baby's pose. Inhale, hug everything into a tiny ball. Exhale out into your 5 minute Shavasana.